If you're afraid of the coronavirus and you're a smoker, you're an idiot if you carry on smoking. The dangers of dying are higher because you're a smoker than they are because of the coronavirus for the average person, as far as I can make out. 8 million people a year in the world die because of smoking. The coronavirus so far, over 100,000. A lot of people have died. 8 million people a year last year died because of smoking. The point is, obviously, 8 million people died from smoking, not that in any way those who died from the coronavirus are not tragedies. The point is, it's also a tragedy if people die from smoking, which is preventable. So, why hasn't it been stopped? Because we enjoy smoking, because it's pleasurable, because it gives you a momentary satisfaction. That's your choice, fair enough. But also, 1 million people die every year from passive smoking. So they didn't have a choice. They weren't the people who chose to smoke. Those people also died, 1 million last year. So 1 million people died from passive smoking last year, which means because of other people's choices, they died. For me, the coronavirus just puts that into perspective a bit. Do you feel guilty if you go over to someone's house who's old or sick because you're worried about giving them the coronavirus? Well, if you smoke, you're also seriously risking the lives of people who live with you. I'm not a medical expert, I'm not a doctor, and I'm not pretending to be. I'm just someone who during this coronavirus hasn't had a cigarette for 3 weeks and is trying to quit. And for me personally, I found it a motivation and incentive to quit. Yes, you are probably, almost certainly, at higher risk from the coronavirus if you're a smoker, but the risks just from smoking themselves are very high. And when you see the lengths to which people are going to try and avoid the coronavirus, think of the subtle way the tobacco industry tries to entice you to carry on smoking, and then consider whether or not you should feel angry as a smoker that knowingly such people passively profit from your death. They're probably the same people who run around wearing face masks during the coronavirus crisis, who wash their hands 20 times a day and stay 2 meters away from everybody, including their families and friends, because it seems the right thing to do, morally, obviously. But 8 million people dying a year, it's their decision, apart from the 1 million who died because of passive smoking. So, 7 million people, you can argue, made the choice to be a smoker. Those 7 million had an option. But 1 million people didn't have an option and they're dead too. So why is there this indifference? why why are we indifferent about it? Or I don't know, it's, you know, people have the right to do what they want. They have the right to drink, they have the right to smoke, they have the right to, you know, free will, etc. I suppose all I'm thinking is, when you consider how active indifference costs lives too. I feel incentivized by society's fear of the coronavirus to feel a little bit more fear as a smoker. A, of killing myself. B, of killing other people I live with. Because the reality of that risk to me personally feels more apparent in this environment. So for me, it's an incentive to quit smoking.